Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Don't know what happened with my accent there, it went a bit mental. Noble Otter Orbit. This is Noble Otter's first sort of cooling soap. This one does have synthetic menthol in here, a synthetic coolant. Let me see if I can see what it's called again. Coolada 23. No idea whether it's any good for you or not, but it does work. It's very cooling, not so much during the shave, but post shave if you sweat or you're outside and it's hot and you get a little bit, just a bit of moisture on your skin, it reactivates it, which is quite nice on a hot day. However, it's great if you just shave your face, brilliant, no worries at all. If you get it on your hands with a splash, make sure you wash it off really quick, so if you get it in your eyes, it does burn. And if you do a head shave, and then you go and play sport, or do anything that involves a lot of sweating, and it runs down your head into your eyes, it burns. It burns your balls, it burns everything. Not that I shave my balls, but it does, it's not burn, it's just really, really cold. Now the scent on this is it's almost like a warming scent, so it's a sort of, I don't know, like vice versa type, so cold and hot all in one. It's a nice warming scent, sort of florally, powdery, but cologne-y as well. It's not, I wouldn't say towards the female type floweriness. I don't know whether you can really say that anymore, but it's not like a bouquet of roses, it's just got a bit of floral to it. But I do like it, it's really nice. I love the labelling, I think the labelling's tremendous, as always, from Noble Otter. Anyway, let's get stuck in. So this shave is going to be all about the brush. Back to the king of shedding, the Simpson Chubby 2. Now, I've just soaked it for about 10 minutes in cool water, not even, it's sort of, it was just my cold water that I get over here. I've just squeezed it, turned it upside down and squeezed it, and I don't know whether you can see already. See all these little ones that are just sticking up. I'm not saying they're going to come out, in fact I just lightly touched that. No, that's good. But to put back in the water again, the water in the sink is cold. I don't know whether this will make any difference. In fact, I know it won't make any difference. This brush is going to shed like mad no matter what. There's one there already. Yeah, is that another one? No, I think that's it. Someone did ask whether this was actually, or said it looked like it was actually ruining the enjoyment of the brush, and it does a little bit, I have to be honest. I didn't think it would. I thought, you know what, it was a trade, I was sort of happy with it. But at the end of the day, it's an expensive brush. If you're going to fork out and get a brush this expensive, you expect it not to shed. I haven't shook enough water out of this brush. It's far too wet. Jesus. Wasting loads of suds here. I'm struggling to hold on to the tub now. It's getting absolutely everywhere. Just fucking shit this. Soap's really slick because I can't get a hold of the hairs to pull them out. The reason I pull them out now is because they just get in the way. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 hairs lost. And I haven't even started lathering yet. Any more? 12. Goodness, more is a, so that's 12 and 13. 14 and 15. 16 and 17. 18. 19. 20. Right. I've got enough of a load in the brush now, so I'm just going to scoop all this off the side of the tub, like so. The brush is ready. I'm going to wet my face. Grab all the excess out the tub. There's not actually too much. The brush, once it dried out a little bit, grab most of the load, and then just rinse the soap in the water, clean it all out. I'm pretty confident that I won't need to come back to this soap. I mean, one thing's for sure, albeit this brush sheds like mad, it makes a wonderful lather. Set the soap to the side. So I think that's, so far, 20 hairs lost from the brush. Now this is sat for 3 days, and what I've done is I've actually aired it using the evaporative air conditioner in my home, which is basically an air conditioner that runs off of cool water. We've got reverse systems as well, split systems, reverse cycle split systems, which are instant cold and instant hot air. Well, not instant, but once they get going. I've been airing the brush out at a window with the gap open, allowing the air to pass over the brush in order to really dry it out. So all I've done here, you've watched what I've done, I've just painted this on. I haven't done anything else, I haven't even splayed the brush yet. Now I don't know whether any of them are loose, but I would probably take a guess and say that that one is. Yeah, I mean it's not even a full hair, it's just a half a hair. It's almost like the knot, the hair in the knot's not great, but it also sheds like mad from the base. I mean, all those other hairs are generally from they've come out of the base of the knot. So I'll dip the tips. And again, and another one, 22, the lips are absolutely freezing already. There's 23, 24, 25. Yeah, I mean, I have to say it does so. The problem with this brush is I don't enjoy using it. I do enjoy using it, but I don't enjoy using it because I'm constantly looking at the hair coming out of the knot. I don't like the hair being on my face, coming out of the knot onto my face when I'm shaving. Right, do the tips again. Another one, so 25, I don't even know, I've lost count now. I'm just going to set them all here. Let's spray the brush now. Sprinkle some water in. And again. I mean, I've messaged Simpson. They haven't got back to me. I'm not expecting them to get back to me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save all these hairs up and I'm going to pop them on Instagram every time I use it. A photograph of all the lost hairs per use. Keep tagging them in it because I'm not, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not the only person out here suffering from this. There's no way I'm the only person on earth that's had a shit brush that sheds like this. And the only thing I can put it down to is poor workmanship. You know, I'm pretty sure the person that tied this knot is the one that's caused the issues. I can't think that just the knots are all like this, because they can't be. Simpson wouldn't be such a big company and wouldn't have such a following if the brushes constantly did this. So they obviously do make knots that don't shed. There's another one. You can just see that there. It's only a little one, but you can see that. Well, a thin one, should I say, not a little one. I understand Simpson have a policy. Totally get it. But being a small business owner myself, you live and thrive off of customer feedback and customer service, and you're only as good as your last job. And I'll be honest with you, if that brush hadn't shed, I would probably have another one in my den already. But to be fair, I probably won't ever buy a Simpson's brush again, or I won't ever buy one. So here we go. I've got the carve Christopher Bradley razor in aluminium, the B plate, and I've got a 4th use Gillette Nasset blade in there. Let's see how it feels in a 4th use. I just thought I'd keep this blade going. I think I've got 2 or 3 days growth, just melting it off. Just want to give a shout out to all the lads on the Aussie Wet Shaving Enablement group. Who helped me fill a raffle on there. Which my son did the random number generator for the winner. And it was taken out by Nils Long. And it was like 8 kilos of shaving stuff that I raffled. And it's insane that it cost me the same amount to send 8 kilos of shaving stuff to the eastern states of Australia. Do you know what, I'm peeling hairs off my face as well, yeah. The actual hairs from the brush. It cost me the same amount to send it in Australia as it did to recently send 3 soaps and a splash to Sweden. So just madness, absolute madness. Right, now I know this soap's going to be slick, so I'm not worried about that. The scent opens up a little bit. The scent strength's not massive on this soap, I have to say, and to be honest, with regards to Noble Otter, the scent strengths aren't really big at all on any of the soaps. Probably Barber being the most sort of prominent. But even then, none of his soaps get over a 5 in scent strength out of 10. They all sit around about the 3 to 5 mark in scent strength. But really wonderful scents. And as far as I'm aware, they are all made from scratch, all the scents. Nothing pre-bottled or pre-made, or like 2 pre-mixes mixed together. These are all made from scratch. This is thick, thick soap. I mean, that is like paste. Now the wonderful thing with this Coolada cooling set, now it's cold, I can feel it, it's not like intense cold like Simpson Glacial. Right, I'm just going to pull that here out. Add a little bit of water because it needs it. Another one. If you've watched my channel for long enough, you'll know that I look after my stuff. It's not like I'm taking this brush off. I'm honestly not taking it offline and beating the shit out of it to make hairs come out. I love this knot. I don't want to lose it really, but it's losing itself. It's so thick. The blade feels absolutely brand new. Don't get me wrong, it's partly the carve effect as well. The carve generally makes any blade feel great. If it's a great blade, it feels even greater. If it's a pretty shitty blade, it makes it feel good. Blades that haven't really worked too well for me, Boss Cods, Darbys, things like that, this razor takes them to a level where they're shaveable. I think most sort of barbershops, if you get a shave in there with a chevette, generally they use Darby blades. They're not that great. It's really surprising. I don't know whether they use them because they're mild. I really don't know. In fact, I'm surprised at generally the lack of knowledge in barbering. Is it barbering? Is that what it's called? Barbering. Yeah, I think it is barbering. By what's out there at the moment. Even my local barber, who's a tremendous hairdresser in terms of cutting hair, cuts all my boys who used to cut mine. His actual knowledge of traditional shaving and stuff like that, or straight razors and safety razors, all that sort of stuff is almost non-existent. It sort of shows you that massive shift that barbers have taken from traditional to modern in terms of just cutting hair and shaving it with electric shavers and things. If you go up into Perth, it's a different story. Up in Perth they do the Turkish barbers. A lot of it's still done old school with razors and this is the frustrating thing with this brush. So you can see I've just done all this brushing, swirling, rubbing. Nothing's coming out. How frustrating is that? Needs a bit more water. Definitely one of my favourite soap bases, Noble Otter. Nothing's coming out of it now. No. Look at this lather. Just add a little bit of water there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little weepers down here. I think I pushed just a little bit hard there. I'm not too worried about that. I've managed once again to shave against the grain under here with no real issues. Well, no issues at all, I didn't actually feel it. Just empty the sink out again because it's full. I'll paint a little bit. A few little weepers down there, but nothing under here, which is good. Absolutely stunning. Stunning soap, stunning razor. At the end of the day, it's still a stunning brush, how it's bad as it can. That lather's like an absolute champion. I've used several different soaps with it. Every time it's given me a perfect lather, or as close to, with absolutely no pressure at all. It doesn't struggle, I don't have any issues making the lather. Right, let's give it a clean out now, see how many hairs I lose. I'm just using sort of very lukewarm water, but it's cold with just a slight tinge of heat through it. No heat whatsoever going through the knot. In terms of too hot. Squeeze most of this out. Still a lot of soap in there, so I'll just rinse it out again. You can feel that cooling, it really is a different type of sensation. It's the same coolness all the way through the shave. It doesn't get too much and it doesn't really change from what it is. I would put it on a par with just Simpson's normal, right, there's one straight away. Well, I've done squeeze this so far, I haven't actually shaken it yet, so I'll give it a shake to get as much of that excess out as I can. Okay, so just from that shape, you see it's out of shape, but everything else looks like it should. There's nothing sticking out further than the tips of the knot itself. And all I'm doing now, you probably can't see it, just lightly flicking the tips of the brush on my towel. I'm not pushing hard, I'm not doing anything really vigorous. My hand's moving quickly, but I'm not actually smashing the crap out of the knot. I'm just letting the tips touch the towel, backwards and forwards, almost stropping the top of the knot. Right, let's just have a look. So you can see those two there. Pretty sure that one's definitely coming out nice and easy. I'm not pulling these hard, I'm literally just grabbing the tip of it with my finger and they're just sliding out. I can't see any more now, is that? I think that's about us. Definitely got, I think I've got most of the soap in. No, maybe not, I think just needs a little bit more. So that's between 20 and 30 hairs, 20 and 40 hairs, I don't know exactly how many I lost count at 25, I think it was 25 I was up to. Whether the half hairs or full hairs, I don't really care, because at the end of the day, I've got one that Dan Rob brush badger, I've got there's another one there. There's only a little one again. I've got that darn Rob brush, I've got my Grizzly Bay brush, I've got my West Coast shaving brush, I've got my Manchester United brush from Leo Freo. They've all got badger hair knots in them. They hardly lose it yet, ever. Certainly the West Coast shaving one, I don't think I've lost a hair in it, and I've used it 20, 30, 40, 50 times I think. There's another one. It's just a shame, it really is. It's a shame, it's frustrating. I think that's about it now. I think it's done its shedding for this shave. All I'm doing is just lightly flicking it across my fingers, just the tips of the brush. Generally if there's anything loose in there, that'll sort of pull them out. Shouldn't have to do that, but with this brush I just feel the need that I have to just go that little bit extra in terms of trying to get all this shedding hair out. I'm still holding my breath that it might actually come as good as it's supposed to. Just such a shame, it really is. And to be fair, all Simpson have done so far is send me through a guide on how long it can take sometimes for a brush to stop shedding. Now if I'm losing 20 to 40 hairs per shave, and they say we can take up to 50 shaves before it stops shedding, if I'm losing that amount of hair every shave for 50 shaves, you're into the thousands and thousands of hairs I'm losing over 50 shaves, which is pretty average, it really is. So there we have it. That is today's loss of hair from one shave. One 3-pass lather and a touch up round the lips. Over 20 hairs. Doesn't seem like much. There's thousands upon thousands of hairs in this brush, 20 plus thousand of hairs in this brush, but it's just falling out left, right, centre. It's losing hair faster than me, which is really sad. Noble Otter Orbit synthetic cooling soap, really nice. My face is nice and cool and refreshed right now. It's going to be even more so now. I'm just going to, that's dried on my neck now I think, which is good. To be fair, I've had very minimal irritation there from that shave. I put that down to the carve aluminium because it's so light, I determine the pressure. Noble Otter Orbit aftershave splash. I'm just going to take my wrist splint off and pop a little bit in my hand. Hopefully I can do this. Oh, nice burn. Definitely got a cologne type scent. It's definitely more of a gent scent, or a male scent than a female scent. But I think women would get away with it, I really do. I think my wife would probably actually quite like that. She does like the scent of this soap. Just got to make sure now you get most of this off your hands. Otherwise, when you scratch your eye later on, you'll be suffering, trust me. It gets in your eyes, it stings. And once it gets in, it stays there for ages. What have I done with the lid? That's there. I'm just going to pop this brace straight back on. I don't honestly feel like this arm's healing much, in all honesty. I think it's struggling. The brush for today was the Simpson's Shedder. Chubby 2, best badger, best natural knot I've ever used. It's just a shame. Don't do this at home. The Carve Christopher Bradley razor in aluminium with the B plate, black and red. I've used this with a silver stainless base plate as well. It's really nice actually in that colour combination, the black and the silver. And I've got a 4-use Gillette Nasset blade, which was super silky smooth, felt like a brand spanking new blade in there. And I can't really grumble at that. I've got a little bit of spotting down here and things, but other than that, really close, really comfortable, and the post-shave feel is exceptional from Noble Otter, as always, especially when you get the chance to finish with one of their splashes, which are really, really good. You can feel that slick skin food on there working, doing its business. And other than that, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.